I was watching a video by Agnes Callard recently. She talked about anger as a call for help. She said anger is the emotion that arises when something happens that we feel should not be, but we don't have the means to change it or fix it. So it's good that we have a way of knowing when our world is not right and that something needs to be done to make the world right again. The difficulty with anger is that it often triggers our fight-flight response, which evolved in wild animals to help them to cope in life-threatening situations, either by fighting or flight, running away. A wild animal's life is potentially under threat at any moment. Death could be just moments away. Now, that's strictly true for us. We could step out onto the road not noticing a car coming at us very fast. When that does happen, our flight mechanism is the one that will save us. But when is the last time you actually truly thought you were going to die? The reality for us as humans is that we don't generally think about dying on a regular basis. Every now and then something happens to make us focus on our mortality, but we plan our life assuming we're going to survive. The sense of identity of a wild animal is its body. If its body is under threat, it is under threat. But we humans are more sophisticated. Our identity as a human being includes our name, our beliefs, our possessions, our self-confidence, our social reputation, a whole lot of other things. And when any of these feel threatened, the same patterns, the same pathways of the brain are activated as in a wild animal under threat. So that means our body is getting ready to fight. One of the ways to cope with this is to recognize that anger is a call for help. If we recognize that, we can stop and think, what needs to be fixed? Is there something I can do to fix the problem myself I've not thought of yet, rather than allowing the anger to take me over? And the focus in the brain also shifts from the emotion to thinking about the emotion, and that helps us calm down. Agnes Callard says anger is a call for help from somebody else to fix what we can't fix. Now, of course, our primary responsibility for our anger is ourselves. Other people might be able to help, but they can only help us if we can make everything as calm and safe as possible. Remaining as calm as possible will certainly help, because it's uncomfortable to be in the presence of someone who's angry. So there's already a barrier that's been built up. It's difficult for that person to recognize your calls for help. And often too, they're angry as well, and that makes it even harder and more likely that the situation will escalate into an argument. If we recognize anger as a call for help, it creates the opportunity to step back from the heated situation and ask what has happened. If we recognize somebody else's anger as a call for help, it helps us to remain calm and find a way to offer the help that they need. We can inquire about what unmet need they have and work with them to find a solution. Doing this gives us some space to avoid getting pulled into a confrontation. As we think about what is happening, our attention moves away from the emotion and helps us to stay calmer. We can also, of course, get angry at ourselves, and then there's nobody out there to call out to. Then we just have to learn how to contain the distress within ourselves. But we can still ask ourselves the question about what is the unmet need, and that will help us to calm down.